Brilliance Audio presents Accessing the Media, How to Get Good Press by Jill Osborn, performed by Terry Schnaubelt. The media controls the world. What is read on the web, heard on the radio, or seen on television shapes the way people think. If you have a message that needs to be heard, you need to understand how the media works. The press can get votes for politicians and put cash in the pockets of businesses and charities. It can also destroy the fortunes of powerful people overnight. So what is the key to receiving positive media? You will soon receive this inside knowledge by understanding the 3 points of contact with the press, which I will explain in detail. But let's first examine why you must strategically and successfully cultivate an ally in the most powerful entity, the media. Getting press is an effective way to get your branded message out to a broad range of people. It creates a buzz about your message, your product, or your charity of choice. The media entices other vendors, volunteers, and voters. People are impressed when they hear you on the radio, see you on TV, or read about you in the paper. The phenomenon of being impressed by those in the limelight dates back to our prehistoric society. We follow leaders who receive more attention than us. Most people cannot obtain news coverage. Therefore, those who do move up higher on the social hierarchy. Daniel Kruger, an evolutionary psychologist from the University of Michigan, explains the psychology behind the fascination of those in the spotlight. He says that an individual believes it is important to follow the thought process of leaders for several purposes. One is just learning what high-status individuals do, so you might more effectively become one. And two, it's basically political. Knowing what is going on with high-status individuals, you'd better be able to navigate the social scene. Kruger goes on to say that celebrity obsession is created on purpose. Even talk show hosts are on social media trying to relate even more to their audience in order to connect with viewers. Kruger acknowledges it's savvy marketing. Without question, the media has a powerful influence on the minds of the masses, as Malcolm X noted. As a result, countries around the world control the press by co-opting journalists, putting them in jail, and even executing them. Look at China. According to a story by the New York Times, foreign reporters were videotaped and followed so closely they could not conduct interviews. For Chinese reporters, it is even worse. Their freedom of speech is extremely limited. The Nieman Foundation for Journalism at Harvard observed the treatment of Chinese journalists. The report notes, in some cases, those who run afoul of the government have been arrested and forced to confess to crimes on state-run television. In Mexico, a journalist was gunned down and shot 12 times in broad daylight. The journalist had written extensively about the negativity surrounding the drug trade. It is estimated that around 40 journalists have been killed in Mexico since 1992. 6 of those slayings happened from March to May of 2017. In Russia, the dangers of reporting against President Vladimir Putin began to receive attention in the 1990s. In 2006, the journalist Anna Politkovskaya was murdered in an elevator in Moscow. Her death drew significant attention to the threats against Russian journalists. Reportedly, nearly 20 journalists have been recorded as being killed by the Kremlin. According to The New Yorker, nearly all the deaths took place in strange circumstances, and none of them have been successfully investigated or prosecuted. The Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, has found that more than 50 journalists have been killed in Russia since 1992. However, the CPJ notes the top 3 most censored countries are Eritrea, North Korea, and Saudi Arabia. Another example of the power of the press came after the Republicans won the 2016 presidential election. Right before Democratic President Barack Obama left office, he said that Russia's president had hacked into the emails of Democrats. Obama said Putin then influenced the election by leaking those emails to the press. For whatever reason, with all the negative news Trump received, people never had one negative word consistently tied to Trump. However, voters always remembered email scandal and Hillary. The assumption is that this led to her losing the race.